Hi there, YouTube family. I'm so glad that you could join me for today's video. Today's video is going to be just a little bit different in that I wanted to talk a little bit about what my diseases are and what my health issues are, and maybe, reach out to a few of you. But before we get started, if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe and click the red button below and then hit the bell so you can be notified of any future videos. I would really like to have you here as a part of the YouTube family that I am building with all of these lovely people. And thank you so much, everyone, for all of your loving support. You mean the world to me, you know that. So let's get into what I want to talk about, which is fibromyalgia and trigeminal neuralgia, and then also mental illness. I don't want this to be a super long video, but I definitely wanted to give you just a little bit of an overview about what's going on with me and the things that are happening, and kind of explain to you, why I was MIA for those few days. So to start out with, let's talk a little bit about what trigeminal neuralgia is. There is a nerve in your face that sits right here at the very top of your ear. It's called the trigeminal nerve, and that nerve has 3 branches that go across your face. One here across your cheekbone, and then one right in the middle, and then one right down here along your jaw. And it can affect either side. I personally have it on the right side, and then it can, it can either shoot pain, have burning pain, whatever to it. But the reason that people get trigeminal neuralgia isn't known. However, it basically is a misfiring of that nerve. The body somehow gets confused. Whether it's autoimmune or not, they don't exactly know, but the body somehow gets confused and makes that nerve fire that there's pain sensations when there really isn't anything to be in pain about. It isn't like TMJ. It isn't anything to do with the jaw, which TMJ usually starts here. It's quite a bit higher than that. So mine manifests itself as a burning pain. Sometimes it'll just be a dull ache, and I can get it anywhere across my cheekbone or down the jawbone. I don't find a lot of pain right through here towards my mouth, but yeah, so I get that pain, and it's pretty intense. I've been on several different medications that may had more side effects than I even care to mention, but I'm not interested in taking a medication that makes me feel worse in other ways but might help that. So they really don't have any way to deal with that yet, other than possibly surgical procedures, which can be a little bit invasive. And if you cut that nerve right there, you would have all of this area be dead, and I'm not really ready to go there yet, but I'm still doing a bunch of research, and I'm still trying to figure out what all that is about. The other thing that I have is fibromyalgia. I've talked to all of you a lot about that, and so many of you have reached out to me and said that you also have it. I think that fibromyalgia is a very misunderstood disease and disorder. I think that just barely that even the medical community is beginning to recognize that this is a true disease, and that yes, it is an actual problem that is hitting so many people in the U.S. and across the world. And again, there is no known cause. Some people think that it possibly could be brought on by a virus. Some people think that it could be brought on by traumatic stress. But again, it's an autoimmune disease, and it is one of those ones that they just don't know a lot about yet. So any drugs that they have on the market, say it's Lyrica or Cymbalta, those are just drugs that are being tried. There's not anything yet that they have that they actually can pin down and use specifically for fibromyalgia. Personally, and I hope that this actual statement helps somebody. Of course, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a pharmacist or anything like that, but personally, it gave me, I was on Lyrica and Cymbalta, and Lyrica and that combination together gave me extreme thoughts of suicide, and I went through a period of about 6 months when they had me on that I was really scared, and I just did not feel like going on. I felt like I couldn't, nothing was worth going on. So I want to, if I can, shed some light on that. If you are on those drugs and you're having any sort of those feelings, please contact your doctor immediately. Call a hotline. Don't suffer with those kinds of things, because they can put you on other things and, possibly get you to another point. Now, did Lyrica take care of my pain? Not completely. So I just want to make sure that everybody kind of knows that that is, a very personal thing. And if you're on it and it's working and you don't have any problems, I'm happy for you, because it can be a drug that is really scary. As a matter of fact, I don't know if many people know this or not, but as I was researching the specific combination of those drugs, Robin Williams, when he took his own life, was on that combination of drugs. So please be careful. I'm not out to bash any drug or any doctor or anything like that. Just asking for everybody to really be careful, and family members to watch other loved ones that are on it, if that, anything like that begins to come up. Okay, so fibromyalgia for me manifested itself in just pain, widespread pain across my body. And originally they thought that if you had pressure points, there was supposed to be, I think, 18 pressure points in your body, and they thought if they could palpate those pressure points and you had 12 of them at least, then you had fibromyalgia. When they did mine, I had 16. But they've come to find out now that fibromyalgia is even more than just those specific trigger points. It can actually be everywhere, all over your body, and it doesn't have any rhyme or reason as to where it might lay or anything like that. But the biggest thing is this chronic widespread pain with possible gastrointestinal issues with it, and feelings of depression, fibrofog, that is, just kind of having a foggy feeling in your head, not being able to concentrate. And I was used to a lot of those things in the pain and, the fibrofog, those kinds of things. But this specific bout where I asked you all to have some patience with me, I wasn't ready for what actually happened to me, which was extreme pain with just debilitating exhaustion. And I had felt exhaustion before, and the extreme fatigue, but this was actually like I physically couldn't pick up a leg, or my arms felt too heavy, or, I really seriously felt like I could not move because I was so tired, just exhausted. And yet, when I try to sleep, I couldn't rest. I couldn't really get into a good rest cycle. So it's just such a vicious, circle where you're trying to rest, trying to heal, but you can't because the sleep eludes you too. So I was really scared this time about what was happening with the fibromyalgia, and I'm feeling so much better now, but I just want to shed a little bit of light on that. Not for sympathy. I'm not looking for any sympathy. I'm not looking for anybody to say, oh, poor Melissa, she has all this to deal with. Just for the factor of so many people don't understand this disease, and so many people go, oh, right, yeah, fibromyalgia, what does that even do? Is that even a real thing? Well, you can look perfectly normal on the outside. You can look perfectly fine, but you really do still have all this inner turmoil and pain and exhaustion and not being able to think right, which leads into the mental illness part. Now, I experienced depression and anxiety and panic disorder long before I ever got fibromyalgia, but when I got fibromyalgia, it times it like 20. It became so much a part of who I was, and just that hopeless feeling because you feel like my life is over. But you know what? As I've started to eat healthy, and as I've started to kind of get back into the groove of things, I have found that so much of the symptoms have been lifted. But I think that it will always be there. So I'm not trying to diminish that fibromyalgia can be taken care of with diet or exercise or anything. I think that those things can contribute to help it, but I don't think that it can have a cure. And that's where I was at. I thought if I was off of sugar, off of bad foods, eating healthy, eating cleaner, that I could beat fibromyalgia. And that just absolutely was like a punch in the stomach when I had been doing so well for 2 or 3 months, and then all of a sudden had this bam in my face. Just, I knocked me off my feet and was there again. So I think that a lot of that contributed to, I was shocked at that being able to put me out of commission again all of a sudden. So what I want to do is I want to spread a little bit of light on this subject and help people to realize that yes, this is real. If you have someone in your family suffering with it, they may look fine on the outside, but believe me, what's going on inside is true pain, true turmoil, true mental, depression and anxiety and feelings of worthlessness. And if you have fibromyalgia and you are suffering with that, I want you to know that even though there are dark times when you feel like everything is lost, there are times when you can pull out of it and feel so much better. So what I want to do is encourage you that if you do have it, you are welcome to reach out to me if you feel like that. If you want to talk, I would love to be able to have conversations with you if that's something you want to do. If you don't, that's okay too. I just hope that my little bit of experience can help some people and help them realize that, it cycles just like anything else. There may be really bad periods, and those periods may last months of time, but working with your body and doing the very best you can with your body, with your exercise, is really the only thing that we can do, and just learning as much as possible. In that time that I was so sick, that's what I was doing, is I was learning as much as I possibly could about why all of a sudden I had this problem over again when I seemed to be doing everything right with my eating and my exercise and all. So I just wanted to reach out for just a minute and say that, and tell you all very much that I appreciate how much love and support that you gave me through all of that time. It was hard. It was really, really hard, and feeling very hopeless and not knowing what to do. And I had these thoughts of quitting YouTube and not being able to do what I want to do. And you feel like you're a prisoner in your own body, but those kind of hopeless feelings doesn't do anybody any good, and it definitely doesn't help us get to a place where we can actually be proactive in our own care. And that's what I would love to see everybody do that has this disease, is just be your own physician of sorts. Not that you give up your physician, but be your own caregiver and continue to get better and take care of yourself the best way you know how, and find out everything that you possibly can. So that's everything for today's video. I hope that I didn't ramble on too much. I hope that it was informative, and I hope that you all are having a beautiful weekend. I love you so much, and I will see you in my very next video. Bye, you guys.